Awesome. And then once you are there, cool. Great. I think that is good to go. Go ahead and sit up nice and tall. Maybe shrug your shoulders up towards your ears. Take a breath out, allow them to just soften away. And just do that 2 more times. Take a breath in to draw up, creating a little bit of tension there. And then you take that breath out to let them fall down and back. 1 more on your own. Create that tension, notice it. And then use your exhale to soften and close your eyes. And so in my classes this week, I've been creating a little bit more of a name for what we do often when we find a seat, or the purpose, giving it a name. And I've been coming back to this idea of a clearing, like just creating a clearing and letting it be more about that than it being like a perfect seat where we clear our mind completely of thought, which is so difficult so often. And so just lessening the need for it to be perfect when we find a seat. But it can be purposeful. So maybe let that purpose be to think about what you don't want to bring in to this space, to your mat. Creating a little bit more of a sacred space that is just yours and only yours for this time. And so when we think of the things that we just truly, for this time, don't want to bring in, it doesn't always have to be a bad thing, but it can be something that we just want to leave out of the space. It could also be something that challenges you, that maybe weighs a little heavy on you. And without creating a story around it, just bring it to your mind. Take a big breath in just to acknowledge it. And then just open up your mouth, let out maybe even a sigh to lessen that grip that it has on you. You can energetically set it aside. Do that 2 more times. Take a deep breath in. And a long breath out. 1 more, even bigger. Fill all the way up. Maybe sit up a little taller. And open your mouth. Let out that sigh. Feel that load lessen as you empty. And then the beauty of clearing is that you can then, once you've set those things aside, you can create what you want in that space. So think about what you'd like to actually bring in a little bit more of. What might serve you a little bit better for this time, and maybe even for the rest of your day. And without creating a story too much around it, just name it. Take a big breath in. Imagine you draw that in a little bit more of it. Use your exhale just to find some ease with that. Take 2 more rounds of breath, just like that, drawing in what you'd like to bring in. And breathing out to find ease with just that. So after that clearing, just sit up a little bit taller as you breathe in. And then just drop your chin towards your chest and then find any movement that feels good, maybe rocking one ear to one side and then the other to the other side. So a rock of the head. Maybe you let that movement become a little bit bigger. Maybe you find a place of resistance and you pause. Take about 2 more rounds of breath right there. And bring yourself back through center. Take a breath in to reach your hands up, sit up a little taller, feel the side waist get a little longer. And then just exhale, twist over to the right. Come back up through center, breathe in. Twist to the left. And then back up through center, take a bigger inhale. You might even open the eyes and look up. Bring your hands down in front of you. Just crawl your way to table. Toes back, press the tops of your feet down. Take your inhale to lift your chest. Maybe your head will rise. For cow. And then exhale to round into cat. Maybe drop your head. Let it be heavy. And one more like that. Inhale to lift the heart. Find cow. Use your slow inhale. And then your exhale to round into cat pose. And come back through the middle. You'll sit on your heels for a moment. And then just interlace your hands together. Press your palms together. And I'll activate the hands and really keep them strong as you start to just trace. Almost like an infinity symbol right in front of you. Just warming up the wrists before we find a little bit more work there. And then keep that clasp of the hands, reach it up and overhead as you rise up onto your knees. And then flip the palms up towards the sky, separate the palms. Lean over to the right. And back up through center. You'll tip over to the left. Come back up through center. Release the hands, bring them back down to tabletop pose. Start to firm up the belly enough to send your left leg behind you, your left leg. And then lift it up about hip height. Take a breath in to lift your heel a little higher. Try not to back bend through the spine. So feel the left glutes turn on. And then tuck your left toes onto the ground. Spin your heel down. Reach your left arm up. Modified side plank. That right knee stays down this time. And then reach your left hand forward. Can you lift your left ribs a little higher? Create more space in between them. And then you'll slowly lift your left hand back up. And then reach it towards the back of your mat. Maybe let your head drop. Find a little more length in the neck. And then drop the left hand down to the ground. Return to tabletop pose. Cat-cow here again. Lift the heart. Take a breath in. Exhale to round. Come back to tabletop, back to neutral, and send your right leg behind you. Let it float hip height. Try not to back bend. Can you lift your right heel a little higher, but flex through your right foot, like you were stamping your foot on a wall behind you? Then tuck the right toes under on the ground, spin that heel down, reach the right arm up. Take a big breath in that side plank. And then exhale, reach your right hand forward, just like you did before. Can you pick the right ribs up? Maybe creating a little bit more of an arch here. And then reach the right hand back up to the sky. Reach the right hand back. And then drop the head. A little bit more stretch in the neck. And then you'll sweep that hand back down, come back to tabletop pose. Now spread your fingers really wide. We're gonna do like scapular push-ups, right? So we're not really bending the elbows, but let them be soft, don't let them lock. So I want you to think about the bottom tips of your shoulder blades. And then that space about 2 inches out to the right and to the left from there. So about 2 inches below your armpits, just like we talked about before. Now I want you to think of that as you drop your chest closer towards the ground. Just let it like hang. Keep your shoulders where they are, your arms stay long. So you just like sink in and you really start to squeeze your shoulder blades together. Now as you exhale, I want you to send your hands, press down into your hands and lift the back of your heart up. Now pause there, try not to round. Can you send the bottom tips of your shoulder blades towards your hips? And feel that space 2 inches below your armpits turn on, your lower traps and your serratus anterior. We're getting super fancy. Feel that turn on, take a breath in. I start to shake a little. You might even find that too. Breathe out. And then you get to sit back on your heels like you did before. Release the hands, bring them to your thighs. Take a breath in, shrug the shoulders, and a breath out to draw them down. Interlace the hands like you did before, press the palms together, and create that figure 8, that side figure 8, or that infinity symbol, just to rinse out that work in the wrists. And then reach that up and overhead, take a breath in, again, rise up onto your knee. Keep that clasp as it is, tip it over to the right. Come back up to center. Tip it over to the left. Back up through center. And then release your hands down. Find tabletop pose. Now I want you to right away feel those muscles engage. So you're drawing the heads of the shoulders back away from your ears. And then in turn, those muscles turn on. Send your left leg back, just like you did before, hip height. Let it float. Take a breath in, lift the heel a little higher. Can the shoulders still stay active? And then you'll tuck the left toes under, spin the left heel down, reach the left arm up. Take a big breath in. And then reach the left hand forward. Now, a little bit more of a challenge. This time I want you to press your left foot down a little more. And then keep reaching the left hand forward. See if you can pick the right knee up towards your chest. Let it float. Stay. Full breath in. Big breath out. Drop that knee back down, and you get to rise up your arms out like a T. Drop your left hand down. Reach your right arm up. So after all of that work in the right side, you get to rinse it out. Reach through your right fingertips. And then slowly come back up to that T. Stay with me. You're going to drop that right hand back down. Pick the left leg up. And then reach the left hand forward. Now, can you flex your left toes towards your nose? I want you to think about what this feels like as your left hip opens up. And then reach your left hand towards the back, towards your toes. And then just complete that circle to find tabletop. Your left knee will drop. Take a breath in to lift your heart again for cow. And then exhale to round. I promise we won't spend the whole entire class on our mat, on the ground. We will be upright soon. So then come back to middle. Sit back on your heels one more time. Interlace your hands in front of you. So it was a lot of work on the right wrist. As we really press down into it, we really ask the extensors to work a lot. So give them a little bit of a break here. And then you'll rise up onto your knees, take a breath in, reach the knuckles overhead, tip over to the left. Find that stretch there, and then you'll rise up, tip over to the right. Come back up through center. Bring the hands down, tabletop pose, last one, promise. Well, maybe not the last for a while, but you'll send your right leg back. Let it float hip height. Now engage the place right below your armpits. Can you press the ground away at the same time? Lift that heel a little higher and tuck the right toes under. Spin that heel down, reach the right arm up this time. Take a big breath in. Reach the right hand forward. Now press down through your right foot this time. See if you can pick the left knee up towards your chest. Hold it here, nice and strong, full breath in. And then just drop it back down. You get to rise up. Arms out like a T, and right hand travels down. Reach the left hand up for gate pose. One more breath in to find that length. And then you'll slowly start to come back to dropping your left hand down. Right arm will rise and pick the right foot up hip height. So you're opening up to the whole right side here. Notice what it feels like is you might lift that right heel a little higher. Reach the right hand towards your right toes, and then down towards the ground, tabletop pose. This time, tuck your toes under and lift your chest, finding cow. And then as you round through cat, I want you to send your hips, your feet back towards your heels. Walk your hands towards your knees, and then lift your feet. Ragdoll pose at the back of your mat. So finally, we're upright. You're gonna heel toe your feet a little wider. Grab opposite forearm, and then just sway side to side. Maybe shake out the head, yes and no. Release your arms down. Heel toe your feet right underneath your hips, halfway lift with soft knees. Heart goes forward. Big exhale to fold and bow the chest. Stand all the way up, sweep the arms out and up, collect the palms together overhead. And bring your hands to your heart center. Pause with that balance as you inhale. Big exhale. You'll reach the hands back up. Bow the chest forward as you fold. Halfway lift, lengthen. Walk the hands downward facing dog, soften through the knees. Once you're there, start to lift the right leg up and back. Maybe roll the right ankle, wiggle the toe. Take one more breath in right here. Step the right foot to the right thumb. Drop the left knee down, sweep the arms high, take that breath in, Anjaneyasana, you lift. Bring your right hand to your right thigh, reach up through the left fingertips, and then lean over to the right. Again, more opportunity to lengthen through that left side. And then you'll rise back up, reach both hands high. Bring them down inside your right foot. I want you to heel toe that right foot a little wider. Now lift your heart as you inhale. As you exhale, pull your hips back just slightly and round like you would in cat. I'm going to do that one more time. Shift forward, hips go forward, your chest will lift into lizard. And then exhale, round through cat, but pull the hips back. Now make sure you have your block towards the top of your mat. Let it live there. I want you to tuck your toes under your back toes and lift your knee off the ground. Spin that left heel down, open up, warrior two. And then we're gonna move through two shapes. You're gonna take your inhale to straighten the legs and reach the arms high. Use the exhale to bend back into your right knee, warrior two. Two more like that, inhale, lift up, straighten. Exhale, sink back down. One more like that, inhale, rise. And exhale, you sink. Now straighten the legs, reach the arms high, pick the right toes up. For a moment, let them parallel the left. You might even heel to your feet a little closer. Hands come to your hips and your heels go in, toes go out. Bend your knees, goddess pose. And start to take your arms out like goalposts so you can really broaden through the chest. And maybe you just like rock side to side. As you feel the hips open, the knees draw towards the wall behind you, soften the shoulders, soften the face. Here for 2. Last one. Now you'll straighten the legs, reach the arms high. Now you get to parallel the feet again. And then fold forward, bow the chest. Your hands can find the ground. Maybe let the head drop as you soften through the knees. Shake out the head, yes and no. Now walk hands under shoulders, halfway lift. Take that big inhale to lengthen. Come back to warrior 2 at the front of your mat. Your right toe will draw forward. You'll open the arms. And then reverse your warrior. Your right hand will rise. I want you to start to send your chest forward. Your right hand finds your block. Start to heel toe your back foot closer, just for balance. You're going to keep that left hip open as you lift it up off the ground, or your left leg will rise. Maybe your left hand stays on your hip. Maybe you reach it up to the sky. And then find your left toes flexing towards your nose. It's half moon here. Soften through the right knee. See if you can lift up a little higher. Take one more breath in. And then really slowly, it's back to warrior 2. You land so softly. And then reverse it, right hand rises. And then your hands will frame your right foot. I want you to stay here, left hand, stay. Reach the right arm up. You twist to the right. Take one more breath in. And then reach the right hand forward. You can bring it inside the right foot. Now I want you to think about using those shoulder muscles, not the neck muscles. As you pick that right knee up towards your tricep, send the right leg back, plank pose. Dropping your knees, take a breath in, open the chest, and lower all the way down to the ground. Lift your heart, cobra, as you inhale, and exhale to lower. Press through child's pose, moment of pause. Full breath in. Bigger exhale. And then you'll shift back forward, hands and knees. Tabletop pose. Now, like you did before, that scapular push-up, sink the chest down. And then press into the hands. See if you can lift the back of your heart without rounding. Just lift it up. And then pull the bottom tips of your shoulder blades down your back to engage that space below your armpits. Keep the toes tucked under. Keep all of that. Float the knees 2 inches off the ground. Stay, a full breath in. And then send your hips back and up, downward facing dog. So those little subtle changes can bring in more stability, more strength. Lift the left leg up. Roll out the left ankle, wiggle the toes. You'll step the left foot to the left thumb. Drop the right knee down. Reach the arms high, take a breath in, Anjaneyasana. Left hand to your left thigh. You'll reach through the right fingertips and then lean over to the left. Enjoy it. Full breath in. And then you'll slowly come back up. Reach both hands high first. And then bring your hands inside your left foot. You can heel toe that foot a little wider to create space in the pelvis. And then lift the heart. Maybe draw the chest further forward. And then exhale, start to round and just pull the hips back. One more like that. Inhale, shift forward, lift the chest. And then exhale, pull back and round. You'll shift the weight forward, and then you'll start to tuck the back toes, lift the knee off the earth. Spin that heel down, open up, warrior two. You get to flow and fly through those two shapes. You're gonna take that inhale to lift up, straighten the legs, and then exhale to sink back down, warrior two. Two more like that. Inhale, rise with strength. And exhale, sink in, warrior two. Last one, breathe in, reach up. Exhale, sink back down, warrior two. Now straighten the legs, reach the arms high. Hands to your hips as you bring your heels in, toes out. Bend your knees into that goddess pose. And so your knees stack right over your ankles. Arms out like goalposts. If you want a little more opening through the chest, you can interlace the fingers behind you. Maybe bringing thumbs to your sacrum. Maybe a little rock side to side just for 3. Strong, steady breath. 2. Last one. Release it. Sweep the arms high. Parallel the feet. Use your exhale to forward fold. Shaking out the head, yes and no. Maybe you bend one knee at a time and then the other, rocking side to side. And come back to long legs, long arms, halfway lifts. Warrior two to the front of your mat. Your left toes point forward. You open the arms wide. Reverse your warrior. So find that length in the left side. I want you to keep it even as you start to heel toe that back foot closer. Tip the chest forward. Find your left hand on your block. Bring it right in front of your left foot. Right hand to your hip as you pick your right foot up. And feel your right toes point over to the right. Reach your right hand up. Balancing half moon. Stay in. Maybe soften that left knee. It helps with balance. You can lift that right heel a little higher. And then bend the left knee a lot. Pick up the left hand and land you back, warrior two. Reverse your warrior. Once you're there, find that length. Rinse it out. Hands coming down, framing your left foot. Right hand will stay. Reach the left hand up. You get to twist. And then reach the left hand forward. Let the hand land inside the foot. See if you can pick that knee up towards the tricep to send that foot back, plank pose. One breath in right here. And then knees on or off the mat, lower all the way down to the ground. Lifting the heart, finding cobra. And exhale, you lower. Press through your knees, child's pose. Take a moment of pause. Big toes can come together, your knees wide as they need to be. Rock your head side to side. And then you'll shift the weight forward, hands and knees, tabletop pose. Sit back on your heels if that feels good, or take a block and place that block on the medium setting right in between your feet. You'll sit right on top of it. Bring your hands to the top of your thighs, palms down. Close your eyes. So feel the top of your head reach up towards the sky just a little bit more. Come back to that idea of what you'd like to bring in more of. Take your inhale to do just that. And use your exhale, open your mouth, clear it out. Maybe it's that audible sigh. One more like that. Full breath in to expand. Clear it out to land right here. See if you can quiet the noise and just take a moment of stillness before making your way onto your back. Here just for 3. Maybe even one hand comes to your heart to feel that sense of gratitude for all that your body does for you without even asking it to. Last one. And whenever you are ready, you can start to blink your eyes open, take in a little more light without the distraction. And you can remove that block, just place it off to the side. Find your seat and you'll swing your legs out in front of you. Give them a nice shake. Maybe it's that little self-massage of the quads. Again, the calves, the shins, the hamstrings. And then bring the soles of your feet together. Your heels can even drag further away from your seat if that feels good. So you can really sit up tall rather than rounding. And maybe take your thumbs to the soles of your feet and give yourself a nice massage on the arches of your feet. They hold you up. So give them a little bit of love, just about 2 more rounds of breath right here. And then take your legs long out in front of you for a moment. Keep your heels on the ground as you sit up tall. Reach your hands forward. Make sure you have enough space behind you. And one vertebra at a time, you'll just slowly make your way to the earth. And then you'll reach your arms above your head, point your toes forward, find that long body stretch. Let that feel good. And then reach your hands straight up towards the ceiling and let them come down along your sides. Your palms face down. Bend your knees, plant your feet. And just one back bend here. So just let it be an easy bridge. You'll just press down through your feet. Power up the legs to lift your feet up. Gaze straight up towards the sky, just here for 3. Getting your hips just a little bit higher than your heart. Last 2. Last 1. And you'll slowly return to the ground. Heel to your feet a little wider and just knock your knees together. Your hands can come to your belly. And close your eyes. Starting your stillness here. Maybe you again reconnect with your breath, feeling the belly expand as you inhale. And fall as you empty. And if this feels good, just knocking your knees together with your feet wide, if this feels like where you want to stay for your final rest, you stay. If you'd like your full Shavasana, take any other movements, whether it's a twist, a supported inversion with hips on a block, any other movements that you'd like to take to feel complete until you find that place of rest. Shavasana. Tap into life's energy. Do things that energize you and charge your soul. Soak up the sun, soak up color, soak up beautiful sounds. Immerse yourself in nature, in a world that refreshes, restores, and renews. Don't worry about the task or the day that looms ahead. The work and love and play, the problems and choices that are on the way. If you energize yourself and restore yourself, the power to take action will come naturally, like water from a spring. So look around. Trust the smallest glimmer. Give in to the urge, to the guidance that's there. Do it once, do it again. Soon you will find yourself in harmony. You will have all the guidance, energy, ideas, creativity, power, and ability you need to do all you're meant to do. And you will be given the power to enjoy it. So in that moment of pause, in that space you have created for yourself, take a big breath in, a long breath out. Send that breath and a little more energy to your fingers and your toes. You might even rock your head side to side. Reach your arms above your head. Let your legs go long. Toes point forward again. And then just start to bend your knees and you'll roll to your side and keep your eyes heavy to press yourself up to a seat in your own time. Bring your hands together right in front of your heart. And just slightly bow your chin towards that space. Come back to that intention, what you'd like to bring in more of. Maybe you choose to keep that for the rest of your day, your weekend. And bring your thumbs to the center of your forehead. Just a reminder to be kind to yourself. So you can then choose how you share that kindness with others. Namaste.